Welcome to another edition of our Y107 MU Healthcare podcast. My name is Cosmo, morning show host, and with us on the podcast today is MU Healthcare neurologist Junaid Siddiqui. First of all, welcome. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
You know, loved ones battling with Parkinson's disease, family members, friends, coworkers. What are some of the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, and how are you able to diagnose them as early as possible, I guess, would be a jump-off question to ask you.
Right. So Parkinson's disease has four cardinal features. One of them is rest tremor. The second one is rigidity or stiffness, slowness, and walking difficulties. So you need at least three of these four things to be labeled with Parkinsonism, and the commonest cause of Parkinsonism is Parkinson's disease.
Gotcha.
That's how we diagnose it.
Okay. So is there anything that anyone can do to risk developing Parkinson's disease? Is that even a possibility?
Well, that's a complex question because we have we know that there are certain things like in the environment, being exposed to well water, exposed to pesticides, being in a rural area, growing up in a rural area, all these things increase your chances of developing Parkinson's disease. But then there are people out there who have done this all their lives but don't develop Parkinson's disease. So it appears that it's a combination of being exposed to these things on top of having some genetic predisposition.
That was going to be part of my next question. All these risk factors that you speak of, the well water, your environment, just being in rural settings, there's only so much of that can go along with the possible genetics. And like you said, some people, agriculture, deal with that all their lives and never get anywhere near a symptom or anything of Parkinson's, and then others may be exposed to the exact same things and end up with some conditions or some symptoms of Parkinson's disease. It's got to be hard to figure out how to diagnose. But I think that's the next question is then what is the early detection? Is there any early detection, I guess, to help with that? Or what should patients do if they think they have some of those symptoms?
Well, if you have some of these symptoms, you should see a neurologist and then perhaps be referred to a movement disorder specialist. For specialist opinion, if you don't have to start seeing a movement disorder specialist right off the bat, but then to get an opinion about which direction this thing is going. But then some of the symptoms actually start several years even before having the symptom that we spoke about, the tremor, stiffness, slowness, and walking difficulties, which is severe depression, anxiety, constipation, acting out dreams at night. So people tend to do these things decades before even having the first, tremor, I guess.
Wow, even as far as 10 years before possibility. So it's one of those, if that's something that has happened, if all of a sudden, your grandfather or your dad or somebody is saying, telling you some of those kind of symptoms, I guess that's when you should immediately start talking to their doctor or primary care and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yes.
And start that process. We're talking with neurologist from MU Healthcare, Junaid Siddiqui, about Parkinson's disease. I know I've got a really good friend of mine that works in radio in Atlanta, and his mother suffers from Parkinson's disease, and they're trying to diagnose. I think one of the most famous cases is Michael J. Fox, the actor on television, as we've kind of followed his journey through from the beginning. I mean, we all grew up with him on TV to see him come through. And I know that there's a lot of resources available through MU Healthcare, muhealth.org/Parkinson's. Why is MU Healthcare doctors so well equipped to help treat Parkinson's patients?
Well, we're a tertiary care center. We have two fellowship-trained movement disorder specialists, and we work in collaboration with neurosurgery, and then we have this multidisciplinary clinic that we run that people who need evaluation for advanced therapies for Parkinson's disease like deep brain stimulation, DOPA, they come in on the same day. They're seen by all these providers, including movement disorder specialists like myself, neurosurgery, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and even providers from DME companies like for walkers and canes. And then so that in the same day you're seen by all these people that you would take months to otherwise see, and complete this evaluation.
I mean, that's got to take a lot of stress off the families, the loved one. I mean, it's already scary enough when you're faced with the prospect of possibly having someone in your family with Parkinson's disease, but to be able to kind of get all those questions at least somewhat answered or sorted in all in one one time is got to be. It's a huge benefit that MU Healthcare offers.
Absolutely.
Well, Doc, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Again, for more questions and answers, you can do some homework and find out some more information. And if you need to know where to turn, go to muhealth.org/Parkinson's.